The outdated way of thinking. Break free. For years, we've been told, go to school, get good grades, find a job, work hard, save money, and one day, hopefully, retire with financial security. But think about it. If this system truly worked, why are so many people struggling financially? Why do millions of people feel stuck, stressed, and unfulfilled despite following the rules? The truth is, the old system is broken. It doesn't work the way it once did. Why? Because the world has changed. Technology, globalization, and financial systems are shifting at lightning speed. Yet, most people are still trying to use an outdated roadmap in a world that plays by new rules. If you want to break free, you need to step back and see the bigger picture. The three mindsets that control your future. Inside each of us live three different versions of ourselves. The poor person, the middle-class person, and the wealthy person. And every decision we make determines which one of these identities takes control. The poor mindset believe that life is unfair, money is scarce, and the system is rigged against them. They live paycheck to paycheck, always struggling, always waiting for a miracle. They believe in luck rather than taking control of their future. They focus on what they lack rather than what they can create. The middle-class mindset craves security. They work hard for a steady paycheck, buy a house, put money into a retirement account, and hope it will all work out. But they still remain trapped in a cycle of financial stress. They worry about bills, mortgages, and job stability, never realizing that real security comes from knowledge and financial intelligence. The wealthy mindset understands that money is a tool. They don't work for money. They make money work for them. They create, invest, and leverage opportunities. They think differently. They see opportunities where others see obstacles, and they take calculated risks that allow them to grow. Which mindset do you want to embrace? The choice is yours, but your future depends on it. The illusion of security, the paycheck trap. Most people are conditioned to believe that a paycheck equals security. But have you ever asked yourself, what happens if my job disappears tomorrow? One of the greatest illusions we face is the idea that a steady paycheck provides stability. In reality, it keeps most people dependent, living in fear of losing their jobs and never truly free. A paycheck is like a leash, long enough to give you some movement, but short enough to keep you controlled. The real question is, do you want to be controlled by a paycheck, or do you want to take control of your own future? Do you want to be at the mercy of a boss, an economy, or a corporation that sees you as a replaceable asset? Or do you want to be in charge of your own destiny? Entrepreneurship, the game changer. Entrepreneurship isn't about starting a business. It's about developing a mindset. It's about problem solving, taking risks, and building something bigger than yourself. It's about learning the rules of money and wealth that schools never teach. Think about this. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs failed many times before they succeeded. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Can you imagine a world without Disney? Without the magic he created? Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Yet, she became one of the most influential media moguls of all time. But what made them different? They refused to let failure define them. They didn't go back to what was safe. They pushed forward. They saw failure as a lesson, not as an end. And that's the mindset of a true entrepreneur. Rethinking debt. Use it to your advantage. Most people fear debt because they've been taught that debt is dangerous. And it can be, if you don't know how to use it. But the wealthy use debt as a tool for growth, not as a burden. Instead of getting into debt for things that lose value, cars, gadgets, unnecessary expenses, they use debt to acquire assets that generate income, businesses, real estate, and investments. They make money work for them instead of working for money. Consider this. A wealthy investor borrows money to buy an apartment building. The rent from tenants pays off the loan, and over time, the investor owns the property free and clear while earning passive income. Meanwhile, the average person borrows money for a new car that loses value the moment it leaves the dealership. The difference is in the strategy, the power of financial education. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who thrive isn't luck. It's knowledge. Traditional education teaches us how to memorize facts and pass tests, but it rarely teaches us about money, investing, and building wealth. If you want to escape the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, You need to take charge of your own financial education. Read books on wealth building and personal finance. Learn about investing, real estate, and entrepreneurship. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you to grow. Attend seminars, listen to podcasts, and take courses on financial literacy. Knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is freedom. The internal economy. Success starts within. Your biggest asset isn't your job, your savings, or even your investments. It's your mindset. If you believe the economy is bad, you will focus on problems and obstacles. But if you believe opportunities are everywhere, you will find them, even in tough times. Your mind is your greatest tool or your greatest enemy. Choose wisely. The key to success isn't waiting for the right conditions. It's learning to thrive in any conditions. No matter what happens, you have the power to control your internal economy. If you lose your job, will you panic? Or will you find a new way to create income? If your investments drop in value, will you quit? Or will you see it as an opportunity to buy low and profit later? Your external world reflects your internal beliefs. If you want different results, start by changing the way you think. Conclusion, take the leap. If you want a different life, you have to make different choices. Stop waiting for someone else to change your situation. Stop relying on an outdated system that no longer works. Take responsibility, educate yourself, and start thinking like an entrepreneur. Step out of your comfort zone. Growth happens when you take risks. Learn the new rules of money. The world has changed. Adapt with it. Invest in yourself. Knowledge and skills will always be your greatest assets. This isn't just about making more money. It's about living life on your terms, with freedom, purpose, and impact. So, are you ready to step up, take control, and create a life of wealth and abundance? The choice is yours. But remember, the greatest risk isn't failing. The greatest risk is never trying at all.